Hello everyone and welcome to another custom figure showcase. We're back to the normal custom figure showcases. I've got a bit of an overabundance of these, so you might see these cropping up a little bit more for Wildcard Wednesday in future. Life in the Workshop is still ongoing, but it just seems that lately I have more custom figure showcases for some reason, probably because I'm catching up to my backlog when I was back from Sweden and I didn't have my proper recording set up. But today we are looking at this strange one. Now this is the 10th Doctor, obviously. But this is the TimeLord victorious 10th Doctor. So, as many of us, or those who have seen the episode will know, at the end of The Waters of Mars, the 10th Doctor proclaims himself the TimeLord victorious, as in he is now the sole ruler of time, now that the Time Lords have gone, and he goes a bit power mad. Luckily, he realises his mistake and it all sort of ends there. However, what you may not know is that the comic series for Doctors actually presents us with several alternate timelines for the new series Doctors, one of which is the 10th Doctor when he decides, rather than sacrificing himself to save Wilf, he actually lets Wilf die on the basis that his reasoning is that he is more important than Wilf and that he has so much more life yet to live. And this turn of events actually leads to him becoming the Time Lord Victorious, who is the sole ruler of time and basically fixed the laws of time, and he is the ruler, overall ruler of the universe. And unfortunately, as we see him, he meets his demise, because obviously this is a timeline that he has shown that could potentially be part of his future. But I loved the look of the sort of 10th Doctor's new Time Lord Empire so much that it really jumped out at me as an idea for a figure. So I've decided to make one, as you can see. So what I've done for this is, overall, it is a Sharaz Jek figure, which I have then added a Pyroval Priestess skirt to be the bottom of the robe, and then I've just painted it over the top with the I've painted it over the top for the main part of it white, and then I've also added an extra piece here to give the ideas of the robe sort of mixing one over the top of the two colours, and then I've obviously also given him some white cuffs as well, little Time Lord symbol, and then the headpiece is just made of card that I've cut to shape, lined, and then glued onto the back. Obviously that's his sort of own stylized Time Lord robe. But this, I like this because it's one of those customs that generally I don't really tend to do alternate Doctors, I suppose you would call them, as in, you know, a non-canon Unbound Doctors. But this is one that really did stand out to me because one of the things I liked most, well, I didn't like it actually, but that's kind of the reason why I liked it, is I didn't like how dark the 10th Doctor became because it seemed so opposite to his character. But for that reason, that was part of the narrative and it worked, and I think it did come out very well. And for that reason, I actually quite liked it because it was so dark and different. So I'm glad that we got to see, you know, even for just a couple of brief panels in a comic, I'm glad that we got to see what would happen if he had decided to continue following that that potential timeline, as it were. It's a great little figure to make. It's a fantastic one to have, and if you have got a, I was going to say, if you have got a Sharaz Jek figure spare, obviously you can make this, but I've used the Sharaz Jek figure because it's got the extra piece of, it's got the extra collar piece and front piece on it as well. But obviously it's worth saying that you could do this with an Axon figure and you just sculpt on the front piece yourself, because they are basically more or less the same mould. But that is it for my Time Lord Victorious 10th Doctor. As always, I hope you all enjoyed this video. Like, favorite, subscribe, share, it really helps me out a lot. Be sure to check out the description below for a link to my Patreon. I'm doing my very first figure animation and you can get involved. There's exclusive content and rewards for those who do so, and funding my Patreon in any way gets your name at the end of my videos. I salute you all, and I will see you in another video very soon.